Hi there, welcome to Hyundai Power Products. My name's Adrian and today we're going to be looking at the HY2000Si inverter generator. So I've laid the contents of the packaging out on the table for you to see. First of all, we have the generator itself. We have a little oil filling bottle which we use for filling the oil, a spark plug spanner with T-handle, a double-ended screwdriver, the external charging leads which plug in the socket on the front, and the user manual. Now I do recommend that you read the user manual thoroughly before use. And that's the contents of the packaging. So the first thing we're going to do is to put oil in the engine, as the unit is shipped to you without engine oil. Now you can use a 15W40 grade oil or an SAE30. In this case I'm going to use this oil that's recommended by Hyundai Power Products, an SAE30 petrol engine oil, and these bottles are available from our parts department. So the three things you're going to need for this: obviously the engine oil itself, the convenient little bottle that was supplied, and the crosshead screwdriver that was also supplied. So the oil filler is located underneath this access panel, and it has two crosshead screws at the top, one on each side. So I'll simply undo the two crosshead screws. Okay, now there is a series of poppers on the inside, but there's a little access point here on the top right as you look at it, so you can just pull it out. It'll pop out from that popper, another one in the centre, and another one down here, and the door will hinge open and come away on these tabs at the bottom. And this gives you access to the oil filler point here. To remove the filler plug, we can simply rotate it anti-clockwise a few turns and the filler plug will come out. So when we're filling with engine oil, we're looking to fill it to a point, or the weir point of this hole. The plug does have a little dipstick, but the simplest, most accurate way is to fill it up with engine oil in the bottom of the engine until it gets to a point where the oil is at the top of the threads here. So I find the simplest way to fill it is to tip the machine back and then gradually pour in engine oil. If you just pour small quantities in at a time, you can remove the jug, or your little jug in this case. I'm just using my large jug, and then you can lay it back down level and see where the oil is. Now I need a lot more in here, so I shall carry on. Yeah, so as you can see, the oil level is right at the weir point of the hole. It's just about to run back out. If I put any more in, it would be too much and it would be running back out. And if it was less, obviously it wouldn't. And as you can see, there's a drip just coming out. So that's perfect. So now that the oil has been filled and the plug's back in position, I can refit the door. So again, starting from the bottom, putting these three lugs in through the three holes, like that, hinge it up into position. I can pop the poppers back in, and then do up the two screws. Okay, so let's move on to putting petrol in your generator. Petrol cap is here, and it unscrews anti-clockwise from the top and can be removed. So using fresh unleaded petrol, it needs to be fresh fuel. You can simply pour it in through the filler neck. So I've got a litre here in this bottle. I'm going to put a litre in there. Now obviously, whenever refueling your machine outdoors in the fresh air, not in confined spaces, obviously not near any sources of ignition, because we're dealing with petrol, highly flammable fluid here. Okay, that's a litre, and we'll replace the filler cap. There we are. Now you will notice on top of the filler cap, it's a breathable filler cap and it has an on and off position. To run the machine we need it in the on position. I'll give you a close-up of that. So yeah, here as you can see the little arrow is towards the on, that's the on position, and off obviously is off. When it's in the off position, it stops the breathability of the cap. During transport, I'd recommend you have it in the off position. So we're going to need it in the on position to prepare for starting the machine. So just to go through some of the controls on your generator, we have this switch here, which is the on-off switch, and it is also a fuel tap. So that would be the on position to run the generator, and to switch it off, you would turn it to the off position and the engine would stop. And I also recommend you keep it in the off position for transport. So we would need to turn the switch to the on position to allow fuel from the tank to get to the carburetor. We have the choke here. You pull it out to put the choke on, push it in to turn the choke off, and here we have the recoil itself. To activate the recoil, get it in the right position, you pull it out until you feel resistance there, back in, and then you would pull start the unit. Let's look at the control panel. So we'll start from the top. We have the reset button here. Should you overload the generator, you'll see the red overload light come on and the generator will cease output. If that happened, you'd need to remove the excessive load by unplugging whatever it was that was overloading the generator. You can press the reset button, it will reset everything, and load will now be back applied to the two sockets. The next button here cycles through the digital display, and it will show you the hours run, the speed of the engine, and the hertz. Here we have the eco button. This would drop the engine speed down to an idle when only light loads are applied. If you were going to hit it with a large load, you would switch the eco button off. The engine will rev up a little, and then you can apply the load. But for fuel economy, if you've only got light loads on, say mobile phones or a laptop, something like that, you could put it in the eco position and that will save fuel. Here are the three lights. We have a low oil light here. It does exactly what you'd expect. If you have low oil, that would illuminate and the engine will stop. The overload button we just discussed, and the AC button here will light up when the generator is ready to accept the load. Two 230 volt sockets, 8.6 amps total capability. They're 13 amp sockets, standard UK issue. We have an earth connection here. Should you have your generator in a fairly permanent position, you can set it to a ground rod or to a chassis of whatever you've got it in by using this little earth tag here. And finally we have the external DC socket, which got a 5 amp capability with its reset button. Now a lot of people have said, I don't think the reset button is working, it just doesn't do anything. Well, it doesn't. If you should overload this 12 volt socket, this button will pop out. Obviously you would then remove the load and you can push it back in to where it is in its standard form to reset the DC output. So that's the control panel. So for a cold start, a couple of things we need to do. We've got the fuel cap set to on. We've got the engine on-off switch set to on. We'll pull out the choke fully. We'll set the recoil and start the engine. And then turn the choke off. May take a couple of seconds to settle down. At which point the green light will come on here, AC, and it's now ready to accept the load. To switch the machine off, simply turn it to the off position. A couple of quick tips about caring for your generator. Don't apply any load to the generator until the engine is running and has settled down. Maybe it's been running for 30 seconds or so. So that's obviously, don't start it with a load applied. And obviously before turning off, remove anything from the sockets to remove the load. Allow it a minute or two to cool down so that it's on idle, and then switch it off. So I'll just quickly demonstrate the eco mode. So I'll just start the generator again. So it's settled down, and to put it on eco mode, flick the switch, and as you can see it's gone down to a slower engine speed, thus saving fuel. And if I were going to apply a large load, something more than, you know, a simple charging device, I will turn this on. The engine picks up and the generator is now ready to accept a larger load. To connect the lead for external charging, if you had a battery you wanted to charge, you would start the generator, connect the two crocodile clips to the battery that you wish to charge, and then with the generator running, plug the plug into the socket. And as I said earlier, should you overload it, this button will pop out. To reset it, you simply push the button back in again. So that's the external charging leads. Just a little point of safety, it may be obvious really to most, but always use your generator outdoors, never in a confined space. Keep it away from open windows and doors, yet definitely outside. The engine gives off dangerous carbon monoxide and we don't want anyone having those problems. So yeah, always outdoors in the fresh air to run your machine. Well, I do hope you found this demonstration useful. For more information on this or any of our other products, visit www.hyundaipowerproducts.co.uk. I've been Adrian and thank you for watching.